What's up, people? Welcome to Backyard Builds. Before we get started, we are not professional riders. We are not professional mechanics. We are not professional technicians. We're just a dad and kids that enjoy bicycles and skateboards and stuff like that. And we enjoy to have fun with them. And we tell you what we think about them while we're having fun with them. So here we go. Golly.
You okay?
Yeah, once I get my air back. Keep that recorded.
I did. That's gonna be good for like fails and.
What's up, guys? So I've said it since Christmas. Here's our review on the Mongoose Rebel X1. Okay, Miss Piggy came to us Christmas Eve. I got excited. I went out, opened her up, got her all together, took her to the park, jumped off the playground that far, about 3 times. We came home, went to Christmas Eve service. Everything was good. Day after Christmas, went to the skate park. 10 minutes into the skate park, crankset was pinging and wobbling. Now I watched review after review after review on this thing before I went to the store and picked it up when I figured out it was going to be mine. And that was one thing that got reviewed quite often. People complained about that. They complained about the chain guard. They complained about the reflectors. They complained about all the crap we rip off of them, except for that crank. So I was like, well, let's try it. They probably didn't grease it. Not the case. Let me show you. So we don't do a lot of crazy riding, but we do jump a little bit on this. I'm 240 pounds. I thought, well, it's department store bike kids section. It's not made for me. That's why I ripped the crank out of it. But when we built this bike, the crank set that was out of that bike is black. Everything on here is black and rusty, and it's just a rat build and just cool as can be. We've taken this to the park with my little dog in the basket about 3 times. Park's 2 blocks away. It's not that big to circle around. I was coming home last night. This thing started pinging on me. By the time I got home, that is not the same cones, not the same bearings that was in Miss Piggy. So watch your Doral Industries bikes from the department store. Cranks are crap. This is not an unbiased Mongoose review. This is actually more of a Doral Industries review than Mongoose, because here's a Pacific Cycles Mongoose, 2006 model. I'm not Anthony Ponza. I'm not Scotty Cramner. I'm not buying these things and going and trashing them and then taking them back to the store or anything like that. I'm not doing like pro BMX reviews, because we're not pro BMX riders. Like I said, we're a dad and his girls, and we kind of cruise around and bunny hop a little bit and do some stuff like that. Nothing real crazy. Me throwing the bike and falling off the bike's about as crazy as it gets for these things. But this has been a good bike. The 1998 Sniper is an excellent bike. Awesome bike. We will have a review on it one of these days, because it is going to get new paint, all new graphics, Colts Vans, gummy colored tires, Colts Vans, gummy colored grips, seat post. Guys, I'll probably keep that old Mongoose plastic seat on it. But the reason we got Miss Piggy over this one is 42 tooth crank, and I didn't want to change the mid-school look of it. Yeah, that's not fun when you come over the hips at the skate park and you spark that thing on the ground. But Miss Piggy Rise, this is a $150 Walmart bike, guys. For what we do with her, she's perfect. Excellent little $150 Walmart bike. She comes with No, this one didn't come with a gyro on it, did it? I ripped it off the other Mongooses, but I think this one just had a rear brake on it, honestly. And it was side pull brakes, or not side pull brakes, those have side pull brakes. It was center pull brakes, decent brake, especially for a BMX bike. You do have your 25/9 drive, so you're not cranking out when you're going over the hips at the skate park. Decent sounding cassette, decent looking cassette when I took it apart and oiled it. It's just a 3-pawl cassette, but it works for us for now. And even with the bottom bracket and even with the little bit of heavy, not as much heavy as my daughter's hyper bike is that's in the backyard. It's a lot lighter than that one is, but even with all that going on, my biggest complaint about it now, guys, is these 2.30 inch wide tires. I know that's a new school thing. I know you're getting more balance out of them. I know all this, that, and the other, but gosh, I feel like I'm on a Strider. I feel like I'm on a little 12-inch balance bike with those fat tires on this BMX. So she is going to go down probably to some Maxxis hookworms, go back to a 195 like my old school is, or my mid school is over there. That's my biggest complaint on this bike right now, is just the fat tires. Fat man fat tires. I don't like the fat tires. I'd rather have fat man skinny tires. But does have an 1.1 inch head tube. I can tell you from taking this apart, it is a threadless head, but they're not sealed bearings. They're balls and cages. Everything down here is balls and cages. Everything in the wheels, balls and cages. I mean, it's bottom rung, guys. It really is. But what do you expect for a $150 Walmart bike? I mean, you can't. Like I said on a previous video, we're gonna still fix this one up because it says this on the side of it. No matter who made it, it still says this on the side of it. That's my dream bike right there. That is what I wanted in 1998, was the chrome version of that bike when I was in school. That's what all the cool kids had. So Mongoose is just, I'm kind of a freak for Mongooses. I like Mongooses as much as y'all are gonna make fun of me. I like Huffies. That's what my parents always bought me when I was a kid. We always had Huffies, and we made them into decent bikes. But we've got these 3 Mongooses. I've got a DXR at the lake. Marley's got a Mongoose concept that she's making a custom out of. So this is not just a bias. This is the only Mongoose I have review. But I will tell you, since Doral Industries has taken over, even over Pacific Cycles and over, I forgot who it was, the little section between 95 and 2001 that had them. But even over those two, this bike's lost a heck of a lot of quality in the build and the function and the, I mean, you can just look at, I've put it upside down in the car twice. This is not from falling at the skate park. This is from putting it upside down on carpet in my black minivan twice. So yeah, let's quit complaining about her and let's go down to the park and play on her a little bit.
You're good.
Alright guys, so we're at the park now. We're going to play around on this bike a little bit. But before I play around on this bike a little bit, a couple of the other guys that are around my age have kind of done this rant, and I'm going to kind of do this rant real quick. Brain buckets. I'm a 1983 model. Nobody wore brain buckets when they were kids. We done a bunch of stupid stuff without brain buckets on when we were kids, and you wouldn't have caught me dead in a brain bucket for a long time. Destroyer brand, double certified, multi-sport, from Zoomies. They cost about 30 bucks, guys. I've got videos. You can go back and look at my reels of me busting my head on the concrete with this thing on at John Stiff Skate Park. Yeah, I'm good. You never know what's gonna happen. I asked my girls to wear helmets, and I'm not the do as I say, not as I do dad, so we wear helmets. But I'm gonna run around on this thing a little bit. Zoe's gonna record me running around on this thing a little bit, and I'm gonna let y'all see how she rides out. I can't manual with these fat ass tires. Butt tires.
We will have to cut out.
So right here I blame the fat tires. It's not really the fat tires. It's just the weight and the build and the geometry and the learning how to use that bike more than anything else. The 98 I can manual on. The 2006 I can manual on okay. I don't know. I know this has got taller bars. It's got 9-inch bars on it. Looks like that would help me get up a little better. But I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the difference is. But I cannot manual on this thing to save my life. Golly.
You okay?
Yeah, once I get my air back. Golly. Alright guys, that time was better. So, let me tell you what I did wrong. It's been cold. Haven't been skate parking much here lately. We have been on the bigger bikes a little more. On the mountain bikes, on a BMX when you're coming off of something, you hop it. On a mountain bike when you're coming off of something, I call it pulling the bike. I guess you're more pushing the bike. You'll get back, you'll get low like that, and right before you come off the edge, you just kind of let your elbows and your knees straight and give that bike some momentum. That's how I busted my butt a while ago. These little bikes get you way over the back end when you do that. So for the little bit of crap we do on them, guys, they hold together very well. Okay guys, now that we've done the Mongoose Rebel X1 and I'm still trying to get air back into my lungs, I'm gonna go for an evening bike ride and then I'll post this video. Peace. Oh, dogs and their bark. All right, guys. So we talked about we're gonna fix some stuff up and everything. So parts list for this review. What I'm looking at doing to Miss Piggy is I'm looking at going to a sealed American bottom bracket to 19mm conversion, 3-piece cranks. I'm gonna keep it 25/9. Wheels, I really don't know what I want to do on the wheels yet. Y'all have any suggestions for a good cassette wheel with 3/8 axles, let me know. I'll probably upgrade the pegs, probably go pink on those because all the rest of the bike's pink. I'll probably go pink plastic seat because I'm 40 years old and I like the plastic seats, and y'all seen what that seat's doing already. So on and so forth, but it's going to be a good bike, guys. I'll put sealed bearings in the head tube. We'll get the bottom bracket sealed. Hopefully I can find wheels with the 3/8 axle and a 9-tooth cassette where I can do sealed wheels, or actually my kiddo's little hyper bike's got a free hub on it, and as far as fakey, that free hub's kind of fun. So y'all have a good suggestion on a cassette or a free hub wheel, let me know. But that's my plan. Wheels, of course, some Maxxis hookworms, take it back down to a 195 tire. Those Strider bike tires, just they're not cutting it for me. And I don't mean any disrespect to any of y'all that ride the new schools with the wider tires on them. It's just not me. So wheels, tires, bottom bracket, head tube, bearings. I've already changed the grips. I'll probably go something better with the lock-on grips on that. The pedals are going to have to change because they'll be 9/16. So probably go with Odyssey platforms on the pedals, guys. I like the old Odyssey stuff. Anyway, after all that money, it's already a good bike, but it's going to be an actual decent, really good bike after just putting a little bit of money into it. That's, like I've said before, the department store bikes are what we always rode. I wanted that 1998 Mongoose that I have forever, and I had a 14-inch Huffy growing up. I think I had a red 20-inch Huffy that I absolutely loved growing up. I had a 24-inch Huffy, and then I had my 26-inch Mount Fury, or not Mount Fury, that's a Roadmaster. Mount Storm, I've got one in the shed, and I can't even remember the name of it. So I've still got kind of a Huffy soft spot, but I've always been a Mongoose freak, and it makes me sad seeing the decline and the decline and the decline and the decline. But guys, you can still make these department store bikes something. I mean, pro guys, they're a little heavy and stuff. I understand why y'all ride what y'all ride, but if you're gonna get out for a kid, or if you're a dad like me that's just trying to get back out with your kids, that's a perfect bike. It's an excellent bike. Just you're gonna have to order another single piece crankset before you do a lot on it, because go to walmart.com, read reviews. That was the biggest complaint on the reviews, and I just figured for sure it was because people didn't order or didn't or grease everything when they got it. I mean, we got both these bikes that we got for Christmas, the Santa bike and the one that my wife bought me that I just showed you, and we greased everything when we got them, guys. When we opened up those brackets, they came with a glob about the size of a pencil eraser of this clear petroleum, looked like Vaseline, in the bottom bracket. Hardly anything in the head tube. The wheels had just like a little light sticky coating on them.